Hi, class. I wanted to just record a check-in now because we are all of a sudden at the end of the fourth week, and the class technically ends 3 weeks from today. There's no exam period, and so I wanted to address primarily this project, but a couple other things as well. So let's start from the end and start from there. So there is a test. It's just a 10 question multiple choice quiz. It's really a quiz like the other quizzes, but it's cumulative. Uh, I'm going to have that open from the Monday of the last week to the Monday after the class ends, even though there's not an exam period. And then I need to get grades in by the 1st of July. So uh, make sure to take that. It's just similar questions that are taken from the quiz, but that's going to be available for a week, and you're going to have 30 minutes to take that. Next, we have the term paper on roles, conflict, and/or leadership. And what I uh, what I'm going to suggest, as I have to a few of you, is go ahead and write that paper on this project. I gave you the freedom to write it on any other sort of group thing that you've done in the past, and you can still do that. But if you want to kind of consolidate things, go ahead and write that paper up on this project and talk about one, two, or a combination of all three of those aspects of group work. That will be due on the 26th. So that's due 3 weeks from today. Let's talk about this project. And I want to give you, clarify some things and kind of give you narrow things down a little bit for you. I realize that this is a challenge, would be a challenge in a 14, 15-week semester, and we have a shortened semester. It's coming on the heels of a very trying spring semester, and you are all working virtually on this project, so you don't even have the chance to meet face to face. So please know I'm aware of that. So my expectations are reasonable, and I'm going to be very fair on the grading for this, okay? And so let's go ahead and look at the instructions, and I continue to narrow this down for you a little bit. If you look at the bold part of the instructions, this is the heart of the project. How to conduct classes, if at all, amid the continuing COVID-19 pandemic. That's the problem. Your solution is the proposal for the best course of action. Now, classes will be conducted. There's no question about that. It's just how. As a group, you will be researching options for conducting fall semester classes in person, online, or a combination of the two. You will have 2 deliverables at the end of the term. Okay, so I think we can all say quite confidently that the classes are not going to be totally in person and they're not going to be totally online. It's going to be a combination of the two, which is called hybrid. That's the heart of what we're getting at. How is the hybrid going to look? Okay, and so proposing, oh, we propose that half of the classes are in person and the other half is online is not enough, okay? You've got to get into more depth and detail here. So you're going to want to think about what's your breakdown going to be. Are you going to say, let's do 2/3 in person, 1/3 online, or vice versa? You say, let's do 1/3 in person regular classes and 2/3 online. You may also recommend that things like length of term. Is the term going to be 14 weeks? Are you going to cut it in half? You also might want to comment on uh, also in the way of time. Class length. So for the classes that that the professors and the students are meeting in, how long will those be? Are those going to be the regular hour and 5 or hour plus sessions? Are they going to be shorter? What days of the week are those going to occur? Things like that. Also, and let me clarify, this project is about how the classes will be conducted, the pure academic part of going to college. You don't need to propose in terms of housing and dorms and living situations and dining on campus and all the other services that go along with a college, okay? That's not what you're looking at. You're looking purely at how the classes be conducted. If you want to comment on those things, go ahead. However, some other things that you might want to keep in mind that you might not immediately think about are things like for the in-person classes, let me just say, for the online part, I'm not looking for a huge amount of detail there. You don't have to provide a ton of detail for the online. I think more it's, you may say that there's going to be some more live sessions than typical in an online class to make up for the less face time. You can do that, but I'm not looking for you to go into depth about the technology and the actual how the actual teaching is going to take place, etc. That's you can do some of that, but you don't need to go too crazy about that. That's kind of outside the purview of this project. However, the in-person classes, there are some things you're going to want to think about. Will the professors and students need to be wearing masks? Um, what about the size of the class? Do you propose a limit on the number, depending on the class, the physical class size, a limit on the number of students in each session? What about spacing? How is there going to be spacing? You don't need to be too specific. Don't need to say 6 feet or whatever it is. But I'm just bringing these up because these are some of the things that you want to think about. Realize that while you're doing this, thousands and thousands of other people and committees are trying to figure this out. And nobody's going to come up with a perfect solution. And by the way, I will say that it just was dropped that the decision for fall is going to be released next week. So we are faculty and staff are going to learn about that. You will learn about that. I don't know what the timing is. It will be made public. So you obviously can take take that into consideration. Take whatever the college actually proposes for your proposal, or you can ignore it. I wouldn't. I don't want to get something that's basically a copy of what the college proposes, okay? I'm going to look for some original thought on this from you guys. And also, there's a lot of bright people, and the committee here has got a lot of resources, but that doesn't necessarily mean that their decisions are going to be better than yours, okay? Again, I'm going to be very fair in assessing this project. I'm proud of all of you for making the effort, so don't sweat that too much. So again, now in terms of deliverables, this is key. There's two pieces: a digital part, the proposal itself, in which you will propose how you believe the classes should be conducted, why, and what your sources were, research sources were for coming to these conclusions. If this was a 14-week term, I would look for something more sophisticated, like a website or an advanced wiki. But I'm telling you right now, if you just want to put everything into a PowerPoint, that's fine. We don't have a lot of time for this. Those things take time to develop, and so I'm totally fine with a PowerPoint or a Word document's probably not the best way to do this, you want to find something that you can insert into a presentation too, because that's the second piece. So number one, go ahead and just put together a PowerPoint. It should be professional looking. It shouldn't be something that looks like it was slapped together in 10 minutes. It should be college and professional level. But the next piece is this, is a presentation of the proposal. So you need to decide whether you're going to do that through Meet, Zoom, something that you can screen capture or insert into the presentation as well, and you're going to be presenting that to me. Okay, a couple things on that. I am not grading you on your public speaking and presentation. That's not part of what you're getting graded on. Mainly, I'd like to see that everybody has a part and has something to say and is present at the presentation. If somebody can't be present, I just need a valid excuse. But it's not about your presentation skills, okay? So one important thing on that is the timing of it. It has to be done by the 26th, but I'm going to give you an option to record the presentation as opposed to doing it live. You could do it live in one of those platforms. That way I could listen and ask questions, etc., but I'm not going to require that. If you guys decide it's easier for you to do a recording, and we're looking for a 10-minute presentation, okay? Nothing long, okay? Give or take, just like a speech in public speaking. It doesn't have to be exactly 10 minutes, but just know that it has to be done by the 26th. If you want to do it live, we're going to have to find a specific time to do that. So the earlier we know when, again, the challenge with that is, can we get everybody together in the same place? This decision's yours. I'm giving you the option to do that or to video record it. And if that's the case, you can just submit it to me anytime in the last few days by the 26th. So I hope this helped out. Again, let's have fun with it. Don't go too crazy over it. There's other pieces to this class that you want to complete, including the weekly requirements. That's easy stuff. Do the participation and discussions and the quizzes, and then find it in yourselves to work together over this last couple weeks to put something together that's a proposal, knowing that your proposal is probably going to be as good as any other committee out there. Okay, I really believe that. And you know, for me, for this project is as much about the journey as the destination, to be honest. I've already gotten some feedback on this project from a lot of you, and it sounds like a typical group project, which to me is great because you're learning as we go along. Okay, so don't obsess too much about the last piece, okay? And that's it, and come to me with any questions.